my God, it's been a while since that's exactly what we're doing right now. Hey, Lewis. Doing a little podcasting thing for the first time in a while. So, right now, let's go ahead and get that box. So we're back with old Bobby Ayers here.
More toys.
This is a new toy. So,
there you go. Where's that box? So you got dropped the reasonable numbers.
I think
box.
The amount of drops it can handle is a testament to the ones that can handle. They usually be good to go now. Right. So, get this thing out of the box. So, the size of that box leads me to believe, there's definitely another box. A little babushka sort of situation there, if that's not too racially insensitive for the podcast. Okay, yes, and a standard guitar-sized box. We'd love to see it. Okay, so this one. All right. So this is a classic Vibe Series Squire. A pretty interesting one. All right, here it comes. No case, just the instrument. This is from Sweetwater, so I'm not expecting to have to do a ton of setup on it because they do their whole 52-point inspection. So we're going to see how good that 52-point inspection is today, I guess.
Friday.
Say it again?
We built on a Wednesday.
Not built on a Friday. There you go. I haven't heard that in a long time. So now we got that through. This off. Okay. Yeah. I got the 70 style headstock without the 70 style truss rod. Thank God. So what I'm going to do now is hand this to you and throw out some of this trash. Oh my God. So something I was thinking about asking, but I figured we just set it up how it was, is if you had any idea about.
That's got some nice balance. It's right there.
Good.
Check it.
Yeah, I can see the no neck pad. Yeah, very balanced.
Yeah, man.
Sweet. Floppy. All right. So is this thing a little short scale? Yeah. It's like an inch short. It's not super short, but it's a little short. So, and we don't have a Strat style jack, so we could have used. We could have used the angled. Yeah. Thanks. Wow. A team effort, as they say. So here we go. First order of business here. Let's see what we can do. Bring up the. Oh yeah, I guess that's an important part of the process. And I'm just gonna lift this up so you can see what he's doing over the microphone. We got some cellophane.
Oh my God!
We're not gonna get attached to leaving the cellophane on for 2 years and make it look more ratty just because we don't want our guitar to be used.
Oh hey man, you might.
That's a terrible way to live. Yeah, well now I'm glad you're doing it before we tune up because this would just be very detrimental to our tuning.
God.
Yeah, man.
Here, you work on one.
Okay, all right. Here. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's definitely a. Okay, yeah, you just gotta go kind of slow. Okay, there's one. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what's going on here. Oh, one fell swoop. Look at that.
All right.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is, look at that. Okay, so now we get to look at ourselves, because who wouldn't want to do that, and play with this preset, but we aren't going to tune on the screen. We're going to go ahead and tune down here. So we know we got signal. Both knobs are all the way up. I assume that's one volume and one tone. Very flat. Hey, all right. Oh, wait, excuse me. We're going to go to, because the band this is being set up for. I'm not announcing anything just yet. I'm not telling any tales out of school.
No, don't tell any tales.
We're not telling any tales out of school, but the application with which this bass was intended upon purchase requires this bass being a half step down. So we're tuning F sharp.
This is why this isn't another Les Paul.
And then this is more fun than another Les Paul. I like a good Les Paul, but
it's going to be a spanky, slappy bass.
Okay. There's our G sharp. There it is. Okay. And oh, hello. Okay, so first order of business, once we get these things up to tension, is going to be seeing if like it's even ready to handle this tension, or if we need to turn that truss rod a little bit. As we just put a lot. We just, no, you're only going to make it worse.
Oh, I see.
Oh, you're only going to make it worse.
I got you. I hear you.
Yeah. All right. Oh yeah. So yeah, we're good. We're in the ballpark now. Now we're just doing the old Peterson strobo tuner, fucking super specific deep dive into getting these things right on, so we can actually see what the intonation's doing and enjoy dialing in this tone instead of this thing sounding like a Squire, basically. Okay. Okay, that's cool. And we do have audio where we want the audio. Let's see. We got the mic audio where we want that. So what I'm going to do now. Yeah. Man, I do like that pickup. Hold up. Okay. I'm going to give it a little bit more juice. So, one question is.
And I play both ways. Finger.
Yeah, and I definitely want it to
pick.
work for both ways. That definitely makes sense. Okay, so this is already kind of close to what I had. I think this was a recreation. Do I have the basically we're using the, you know what, and we'll bring this up so that you can see all the parameters, because we don't want to hide anything.
Explain this to the audio or the
this
analog.
This is
old
about the fourth
like
episode. This is about the fourth episode where they've seen this helix view. So this is not too uncommon on the podcast. So we have our typical signal flow here. The main LR, this thing, and you can see my cursor. That's the input from the guitar, and this is the output to the speakers, whatever they may be. So first off, we're gonna make like a DI tone. This would go straight to the bar. Ooh, hold up.
No ring.
Hey, that means that we actually get to have our show tomorrow. We love that. Okay, yeah. So our dynamics are already pretty cool. We got at the very beginning of this, we got, your typical concept of series and parallel processing. We start going series into this 3-band multi-band compressor thing, which is cool. That's me trying to do the boss thing in line 6. It's, it's okay. Then we split off to parallels, and on the bottom parallel, we have 2 pedals, and on the top, we have an amp. We have the SVT, the Ampeg SVT,
nice.
Right? Sort of nice, but the preset that I liked for you, in fact, we'll go ahead and save this preset. Save preset as, we're going to call this Bobby Bass.
Bobby Bass.
And then with SVT. But we're going to try one with a different amp there.
Well, I've played with guys who've had the best of stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of tonal palette to select from.
Yeah. So what we're going to do here is go and turn off the split. Okay. Yeah, those notifications are not going to stop rolling in if I don't mute them, because that conversation. Okay. So this is Rez from Bad Ethel was actually telling me about this amp. This is the one that like Billy Sheehan uses. It's the Busy One preamp. So we're going to dial this in real quick. I did not use the 8x10 with it though. I ended up using one of these different cabs. Man, I always like distorted bass through a 15-inch cab better. So that's an interesting. Yeah, I just it just instantly took the distortion.
What I'm looking for.
Well, you see what you're not looking for. What the part of this that's a little bit lost so far is that this is only part of the sound.
Right.
We got a parallel. We're soloing in on one parallel to get a more pleasing distortion music. And also, we might end up with a less dialed in distortion. We might take some of that away as well. Let's try. Yeah. Because we're going to get a lot of our classic sound from the Sans amp down here. This is our... Yeah, and that's pretty cool. Okay, I'll rig for... Oh, wow. Good to know. So that's cool. It's moving and constructing such just doesn't seem feasible. Yeah, oh, God. Okay, so here's the other side of our parallel right here. So at the beginning of this, we got our Sans amp bass driver. This is like a $99 pedal. Honestly, this one pedal could do the whole rig. So let's turn off. We're kind of feeding into some other stuff. So we're gonna pretend that we're just doing this. Your call. Wow. Oof. He doesn't. And now. So now we're a little too distorted on this thing. You want this? This is more of a clank pedal than a buzz pedal. And we'll dial up the presets. Okay. Yeah. But I really like how this pedal shapes the low end just by itself. Now we're going, once these things sum, which they're not right now, we're just listening to the bottom parallel. That's summing into an LA2A style compressor in limit mode, which is going pretty hard. We might actually not hit that quite so.
Ooh, we're tightening in. I like that.
So we're hitting the studio comp. Then we're hitting some, basically a low pass filter at 7.8 kilohertz. And then I've got a noise gate inexplicably that we don't need. So we're going to get rid of that. So... And while we're here, gonna hit save. So now we're back on this parallel. We got this, which is making a small but appreciable difference in the beginning. And we're gonna add the dark glass after the Sandsam. We're gonna turn distortion mode off. And now we're basically using, yeah. And that's kind of cool. So we're making some progress there.
We are.
It's a little fuzzy still, and we want to dial the EQ. So and you can listen. They got these switches here where I usually keep the grunt at cut, the attack.
Yeah. So that thing has like just volume and tone. You got it all cranked or?
Oh yeah. No, so on a passive pickup thing, I usually just try to act like the volume knobs aren't even there, basically.
Right.
So I'll crank them both, leave them, and then you design the presets around that in the digital world.
Got it.
And that
There
way,
you go.
this is kind of binary. You use it as a mute. You know, it's a mute.
Yeah.
You know, while you're tuning or whatever. You know, if you got a clip on.
Do you put the tone in midpoint or
No. Oh hell no. No.
Put the
They're
tone all the
wide
way-
open. Yeah.
pause all the way with the
Oh yeah. Basically, what that means is that it's not engaging that capacitor.
Right.
It means that it's acting as if that capacitor doesn't exist. And just a reminder for everybody, we are still dealing with, oh my God, look at that. Look at how much that low mid is cut. Let's see what that does. That is doing a lot. So you see, that's a move I've already made on another bass, and it's going to stand here. We changed some things about the distortion characteristic, and we might change the exact position of this. Yeah, we're going to do a little more high mids, maybe a little bit. No, probably about where that was on this, honestly.
Yeah, bring that back.
Well, we're going to go maybe -2. Let's try -0.5-ish. Yeah, that's pretty
Can you
good.
drop the high mids just a little?
Probably not. That's because
Really?
you're gonna get dull. Yeah, that's okay. Let's take a look at that. But right now is where I'm gonna stop listening in a vacuum and start listening in parallels again, because we got a little bit of work to do on our parallel. Yeah, and when I say a little, I mean we got a lot of work to do on our parallel. That's already better. Yeah, that's a lot better. That's going to be much. You got the grindy thing, and then we're going to bring this up to unity here. Oh man, I'm going to be muting those notifications with a vengeance in the edit here. And then we bring this guy. Oh my God. Okay. So another thing that we can do here that's kind of interesting is we can actually use the USB reamping over USB features of the HX Stomp and record a DI and then reamp the DI through so that we can have a loop. So we're going to do that right now and really edit on this thing. Yeah. Input 5 is the DI. Yeah, that's fine.
What do you think of the maple neck on that?
I love them. It doesn't influence the tone as much as you might think it does, but it is cool, and it is one of those diminishing returns kind of things. My J bass has a maple fretboard on it, and I love it. I think the aesthetics of it are very cool too.
I just like the feel, which is completely
This
opposite,
has a very satin finish on it. It's
completely opposite than guitar, because like I said, I like
Yeah.
the tone of the rosewood fretboards and exclusively. I mean, I do
yeah.
not own a maple neck,
really
fretboard guitar. I don't.
no shit. Okay.
Just the way it rolls, man.
Okay.
But on bass, it's a different story.
So the trick with this is you got to come over here to the main LR and tell it USB 5.6. Keep all the other settings the same, and we'll shoot this out the hardware output number 5. So now, if you'll grab this, we have. Hold on. And the whole purpose is that we're listening critically here, so please no bass noises while we're listening critically.
Got it.
So yeah, that's the whole point, is that we're reamping over USB so that we can hear in a vacuum exactly what the tone does. That's kind of cool. Let's go back here, bass. Okay. So now we're going to find basically an amp to blend this with, if we even like that. We might just use the pedals. In a live situation, I'd probably just use the pedals.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so here. There we go. A little less sag. Usually not a lot of sag at all. Yeah, we don't really care about it feeling like a tube amp. Now that's starting to sound more like an amp right there. Okay. So now, there's our pedal chain again. Remember, these units on the outside stay the same. What we're changing is the blend of these two parallels. And that is a much happier blend, but yeah, that's not freaking out there. See what that is? Dynamics. Let me try a couple things here. That's not bad. Set that to 0. Oh, shit. Okay, I see what's going on there. Set that to 6. Set that to 5.4. Yeah, we just hit the amp a little harder. So basically what I'm doing now is just affecting, not the actual compression, but affecting the makeup gain after the compression, because I feel like I'm losing a little signal here, having to overcompensate. So, 7, and then 7.5. And then we'll leave the high gain where it is. Yeah. And that's the cool thing about the multiband compression, is that I might want more of that without more of that nonsense.
Right.
And we can compress them differently. Yeah, let's set that to 9. Mid gain. That might be a little hot. Let's go back to 10. Nope. We're going back up. Let's set this to like 4.
Is that one of your tunes, Lenny, or you just?
Oh no, that's a song called Error Operator off of an album called Louder Now by a band called Taking Back Sunday. Cool. It came out in 2004. Okay.
Yeah. Historian Joel.
Wow. That's not bad. Okay, so another thing that we might want to do in here, and make sure that's off first. One thing that is kind of cool to do here when you have the parallels is that, you know how you'll have a foot switch basically, right?
Right.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to assign that to that foot switch. So I can turn that was dumb. That 5. There it is. Okay. There you go. Okay, so now we got that foot switch to sign. We'll go ahead and save, but we're gonna make this like a fuzz or something. Like a...
The Ampeg Scrambler. I don't think I've heard of that.
The Ampeg Scrambler is an old pedal, and I love the sound of it. It's probably not what you're looking for this. I actually love the Scrambler, though. It's a cool old circuit. Yeah, it's got this like sparky kind of jut thing to it. It's not, whereas a fuzz is more like kind of, you know, it doesn't have like as explosive of transients. Okay. I like the big horn. I like the industrial. And I like the ringer. That's a very different.
There's a ballistic. Yeah.
That's the baseballs.
Okay, got it.
Remember that? It's kind of cool. That one, the big horn is good. Yeah.
Big horn.
Or this industrial fuck. This one's a little more aggro.
I'm kind of liking the big horn.
The big horn, I think, is right in the middle. For sure. What's up, Bonnie? Yeah, good to see you. Alright. So now, it's like a solo boost kind of thing. You know, we probably won't boost it quite as much. But I do like going lower on the distortion and higher on the output gain, just because it kind of drives what it's going into, and you know, it's multiplicative with the distortion characteristics of the things after it when you use them that way. And you just got that on a foot switch, so you can dial in your nastiness at any minute there. So I think we're going to save this preset, and this is how we get some of that juice with a more traditional amp circuit instead of that busy thing that we were trying to do. Okay, so let's stop our reamp, and now the real test. Oh, the other real thing is you want to set it back to the input. Yeah, so let's go ahead and give you the cable. Let's see what you think here. Yeah, go for it. Let's see what our noise gate's looking like here. Oh, we do have some gating going, probably too much gating going on there. So I'll make it a little easier on them. And so this 3-band comp, just a good observation here, is that this is a really great way to tailor the pickups of your guitar, the input of your guitar into the amp or signal chain, and make them more similar to another thing, like, you know, getting rid of all that clacky bullshit up on the top end and kind of focusing on that growly mid-range and the round low end on the bottom, you know, because we take this off. And it's kind of lifeless by comparison. That multi-band comp really adds a lot.
It does.
That's a really cool unit, and I have a physical one of those on my analog pedal board that I just love. Boss makes a really good one. And then just for funsies. So, and here's the other thing. Since we are kind of getting our clean low end from this, what happens when we put the fuzz in front of the amp instead of in front of the pedals? Let's try that.
Let's try.
Oh, we're good. You should. Yeah, a little weak. So yeah, one thing I was noticing is that it was a little harsh. Yeah, that's a little bit more seamless of a transition there. You can go back to the no distortion, and it doesn't lose all of its ball sack, so that's kind of important. And see, when you look at this on the screen, it doesn't necessarily make sense as a traditional bass tone, but it works a lot better, especially when you're doing a DI to the board kind of thing. Like, you know, you don't think I need 3 distortion blocks in a row, but it's how different you're using them. You know, the gain stages, it's like the inside of an amp. When we talk about these discrete gain stages that add up in a, you know, the preamp of a tube amp, for instance, kind of doing the same sort of thing here. And then do that. Yeah, and you see this, the other thing about turning the distortion or sustain control on a fuzz way up is that it just gets sloppier and sloppier.
Yep.
The more you add to it. Like now I can really hear the articulation of your notes. I can hear the stuff in between the notes. And that's kind of cool. Like we don't want to lose that too much. All right. But I think that's really, that's pretty good right there. Is there anything else that you're looking for out of a tone for this thing, or is that really about it?
No, I would like a mid-rangey thump with the compression and some, you know, limiting on it.
Well, that's a word. We got limiting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys.
We're limiting the shit out of it.
But
you're talking about a mid-range bump.
I'm talking about that thump. And for this one,
when you say thump, have you tried thumping on it?
Well,
because I mean that's got thumb for days. You start turning up, this is all mids already. That's what the pedal chain is nothing but pushing those mids and separating them from the lows. So, yeah, don't do that. You know, again, I'm just fucking myself over again. All right. So what we can do is sometimes in a mix, I'll boost this around 700 hertz to get it to gel with the guitars a little better. Keep playing real quick. So that's, when you talk about a mid-range boost, that's probably around the frequency range you're talking about right there. You probably had to do that to compensate. Now we can try without it. It's cool with the fuzz. that doesn't fuck up the fuzz too bad. You could get away with something like that. I'm not sure if it's the best idea to always have something like this on, but you do have the extra effects block for it. I'm not sure if that's the wisest use of your last effects block, but that's kind of what you're talking about right there, where we boost the mids. We're kind of doing a compensation thing right below it. It's not, well, let's try it before the compressor too. A little bit tamer. Into the right PA or cab, this might make sense. Now, that is not the low end frequency that I would choose right there. Let's change this to the graphic EQ and see what we can do to. We lose our 700K or 700 hertz band. We don't lose this though, so we can try that. Yeah, but we gain all this low end tailoring that we don't need to do, but you can. So that might be the move right there, putting in this 10-band graphic, and you can use this to kind of tune your cab, basically, to the tone. Mm-hmm. This isn't something that I would default to. In fact, I think you can get yourself in a lot of trouble.
The graphic EQ?
Yeah,
yes,
graphic EQs are for people who don't know how to EQ, kind of. Like, they're dangerous.
Like me.
Well, the problem with it, it's not even about that. It's like that they create these... Yeah, the parametric is always the way to go, or just simple filtering. Like, that's... All the EQing I'm doing here is in the preamps. Here, a lot of EQ happening there. In fact, I'm stacking the EQ of this one on top of this one to get it more like smiley faced, basically. And then this EQ right here is literally just a low pass filter at 7.8 kilohertz. Yeah, I don't hate that. We'll definitely leave this slot in there, but it's one of those things. Ooh, okay. I'm hating it less now. Yeah, and yet again, this is just kind of like making those mids sound a little bit more expensive. Yeah, okay, that's a win right there. And then try this. Yeah, and it doesn't take away too much from the fuzz, so I can live with that. All right, man. Well, I guess the chore now is to get this on your Helix.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
We can do this.
I think we can. Because we got a tone. Like, that's your whole set right there.
That is
the whole set that you allegedly may be learning.
And
what's up, Johnny? Man, you're trying to get an early start today, huh?
I was having to come over here to...
Okay. Okay, dude. Johnny. Love it. Yeah, check out this bass.
Dude, cool.
Little Jaguar, short scale Jaguar bass. Dude, we just dialed in.
That's one of the new ones. That's not.
It is. It's brand new.
Mine's got P-bass jazz pickups.
Yeah, this is a brand new pickup they just added to that series. It's a big old beefy Stingray style humbucker thing.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's sick.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
man.
Full bass. Oh yeah. Okay, so
I'm
I'm gonna go ahead.
You're taking out driving over.
We're getting shit.
No. I know Mark's your boy and shit. Oh, no, it's not that. I know Mark's your boy. He hands me the money every
we love Mark.
No. We know he loves you.
Oh, man.
I'm here.
Oh, hello.
Keep it clean.
We love to keep it
Take care of your stuff.
Mine has candle wax all over it.
I didn't pick that
He
off.
did not take the cellophane off, but we're not going to roast him too bad for that today.
Go ahead.
We're going to be real sweethearts. No. You paid the toll. You get to rip the foil.
All right.
So what I'm going to do.
It's like, by the way, the neck. I love the neck on this thing.
Yeah, you noticed,
I
and
really
that's
am.
something I don't know whether the podcast noticed or not, but we didn't do one bit of setup on this guitar. We're just playing.
This I love the neck. I'm
It's
just telling you.
We might play with a little bit more setup, but like for now, we're just gonna let that thing settle in. But that's
it's
yet
just
again,
trauma, man.
This is the 52-point inspection from Sweetwater. We knew it was going to come in good shape. They wouldn't send it out if it wasn't. That's Sweetwater.
Well,
All right, the end. That's the end of the podcast. Rotten hell. Bye bye.